Let's take a trip to Cocos Island. It is located 350 miles offshore from mainland Costa Rica. It is only accessible by boat and takes an average of 36 to 42 hours to reach. It is also considered the world's largest uninhabited tropical island. But don't be fooled by its lack of surface inhabitants. It's the ones located below that we are most interested in on this trip. The 124-foot yacht carried 18 passengers and 11 crew members, and due to rough seas, took 42 hours to reach the final destination of the island. During that voyage in rough seas, only one other vessel was spotted, and it was the other aggressor boat, returning from their trip. Until their final destination was reached, the main attractions included a tour of the bridge by Captain Mauricio, as well as entertainment from soaring seabirds. Their only requirement as they got closer was to have their dive gear ready. After arriving at the island, their first anchor point and home was Bahia Chatham. The divers took a quick look at the island and then began to prepare for an entire week of 3 dives a day. Photos just do not do this island justice. The first big step in work began with unloading the 2 dive boats for the week of adventures ahead. With the dinghies now mobile, the only next thing to do was to be escorted out towards the chosen body of water and get in. Chances are, diving at the island, you will not reach the ocean floor before your first encounter with marine life occurs. This diver's specific first interaction involved chasing one of the more common species on the island, a marble ray. Then came what could only make 40+ hours of rough seas seem more worthwhile than anything ever experienced, that being the first exchange with hammerheads. The excitement of sharks often overstimulate the most experienced of divers, requiring a settling period for both parties involved. In summary, the marine interactions only get better. Before we dive into the vast ecosystem of marine life inhabited around the island, let's take a moment and show what brings them here. That being the untouched equatorial body of land that is by definition a Jurassic Park. Cocos Island and its rectangular shape covers roughly 9 square miles and is the southernmost point of geopolitical North America. Its wet climate and oceanic qualities give the island an ecological character that is not shared with any other islands in the eastern Pacific Ocean, including its neighbor, Galapagos Island. With an annual rainfall of over 276 inches, it's easy to believe that over 200 waterfalls have been documented on the island. That's right, over 200. When Jacques Cousteau labels it as the most beautiful island in the world, it really might just be what he claims. But in his reference, was he thinking about the island itself, or was he thinking what's underneath? Here it comes, the jewel of the island, the scalloped hammerhead, most likely born on the mainland of Costa Rica in waters such as Golfo Dolce and surrounding areas. Juvenile hammers and their high metabolic rate require more access to food and eventually migrate towards the waters of Cocos Island as a response. Every interaction creates its own unique experience and opportunity to be up close with one of the most majestic pelagic species there is. For example, this large female displays bite marks traditionally found with mating rituals and an enlarged stomach indicating pregnancy. And this interaction set in an abundance of sea life, parting schools of aquatic life like they are rows of a cornfield in Kansas. At least according to my old neighbor, Ron. Here is one that everyone seemed to enjoy, as it swam through multiple divers during its interaction. It can be difficult to get up close with hammerheads, as they will shy away from human activity. But if you are at the right place, at the right time, and are still enough, you just might get one to not notice you enough before it's too late. They are quite photogenic when they cooperate, and while you most likely won't be able to swim with it, it's still as up close and personal as it gets. Another amazing observation is seeing hammers swim in pairs. Sexual maturity generally occurs once the scalloped hammerhead reaches around 8 feet in length, with females traditionally starting their migration at a smaller size than its male counterpart. The gestation period is reported to be around 12 months for hammerheads, which give a live birth. Compared to other species, the scalloped hammerhead produces large litters of 12 to 40 pups, which is most likely due to high infant mortality. Like most sharks, parental care is not seen. These sharks are often seen during the night, day and morning in big schools, sometimes numbering hundreds, most likely because large groups can obtain food more easily than singles or small groups, especially larger and trickier prey, as commonly seen. The younger the sharks, the closer to the surface they tend to be, while the adults are found much deeper in the ocean. For this particular diver, swimming in this school of hammerhead sharks immediately became the favorite of the trip. But let's not forget, there are more marine life to Cocos Island than its hammerhead sharks. The marble ray, also known as a round ribbon-tail ray or blotched fantail ray. These rays are by far the most common seen around the island. The marble ray is a stingray, as it possesses a venomous tail spine. A slow reproducing species, it is threatened by commercial fishing, both targeted and by catch, and is currently assessed as vulnerable. Stingrays can move through the water using their pectoral fins, and can travel in two primary ways: by undulating their bodies in a wave-like motion, or by flapping their fins like wings. One of the larger stingray species, the spotted ray, can grow up to 6 feet across, 11 feet long, and a staggering 330 pounds in weight. For a predominantly nocturnal fish, it has medium-sized eyes, followed by larger spiracles and curtain of skin between the oval nostrils and finely fringed trailing margin. Their mouths are wide and curved, with faint furrows at the corners. Their jaws contain roughly 35 to 45 rows of teeth each, supporting their diet of mollusks, crustaceans, and bony fish. This ray encounter with its Jack hitchhiker was another favorite for the diver. Finally, the spotted ray can be observed solitary or gregarious. They sometimes look synchronized. Another amazing ray species seen around Cocos Island are the cow-nose ray. While still containing venomous barbs, these rays do not belong to the stingray family and can be more associated with bat, eagle, and manta rays. Cow-nose rays often travel and migrate in large schools based on size and sex, as seen here by these males. These rays are also currently listed as vulnerable due to extensive overfishing. Their name is given by the distinct shape of their two lobes at the front of its head, resembling a cow nose. Arguably one of the prettiest rays that exist are the spotted eagle ray. Spotted eagle rays are most commonly seen alone, but occasionally swim in groups. The eagle ray can easily be identified by its dark dorsal surface, covered in white spots or rings. Near the base of the ray's relatively long tail are several venomous barbed stingers. This particular dive was led by our boat captain Mauricio, and his experience was shown here in delivering us this interaction. Spotted eagle rays are currently categorized as near threatened. A ray on everyone's bucket list is the majestic Manta Ray, with the largest brain-to-body ratio of all fish and capable of reaching 23 feet in size. Mantas really are a giant of the ocean. Speaking of bucket lists, the Galapagos Shark is usually a frequent visitor, as well as at Cocos Island. One of the largest species in its genus, Galapagos sharks, can often end up reaching 10 feet in length. Generally found over continental and insular shelves near the coast. The Galapagos shark is often the most abundant shark in shallow island waters. One identifying character of this species is its tall first dorsal fin, which has a slightly rounded tip and originates over the rear tips of the pectoral fins. This Galapagos interaction was another favorite for the diver on the trip. Hey little dude, there's more to marine life than just fish at the island del Coco. On this specific dive trip, eels were aplenty. Spotted Moray eels are solitary animals, usually hiding in narrow crevices and holes, with only their heads revealed. But on occasion, you can also catch their snake-like bodies swimming during periods of activity. I wonder where this particular eel is going. Maybe it's looking for some friends. Speaking of having friends, look at all of the ones this spotted moray has, all the little fish hosting. And then, with a totally different type of friends, this dude is right next door. Charming, aren't they? The bright red coralline algae of Cocos Island is just spectacular, spotted eel or not. As said before, spotted morays are solitary animals, and you can see how this one is dangerously close to another Moray's territory. Here is an intimidatingly giant green Moray. And what is more adorable, the two Moray eels cohabitating in the same space. I wonder if they kiss a lot. I'm sure they do. Every animal appears to do so. I don't even need to look that one up online. Okay, that might not be exactly accurate. Don't judge me. The white-spotted garden eel is always a pleasant surprise to see, ducking back in the sand to retreat from the threat of the diver and their camera. Maybe a better technique here would be to leave the camera on the bottom of the sand floor and allow the garden eels to come investigate without threat. A reason to go back, I'm sure. They are cool little eels nonetheless. I haven't seen this many stars since a Formula One paddock before the race. The crown of thorns starfish gracefully gets its name from venomous thorn-like spines that cover its upper surface, resembling the biblical depiction. I wonder how much that is worth. Ooh, a clam. And a cool-looking sea star. But probably not as cool as playing around with lobster. Lobsters possess 3 pairs of antennae, 2 pairs of smaller antennas, and 1 pair of larger antennae. The large antennae is used to find their way around, and touch the smaller antennae allow them to identify various chemical signals in water. Between the two, it's their sense of smell and touch. There are 2 types of lobsters, usually residing around Cocos Island and Costa Rica. Green being the most commonly found, with reds being partial to Cocos Island. This one appeared to be a red one. It has also been observed that lobsters can use their antenna to ward off predators such as moray eels. That would have been cool to watch. This was the only instance of any jellyfish-like creature. Its species is unknown to the diver. Look, coral. And while we are at it, fan coral. Gonies or Duncan, maybe? The Cocos Serrano. A Passar Angelfish retreating to its home. Watching a Pennant Bannerfish eat on the reef. Chomp, chomp. These appear to be cornetfish over their larger rival trumpetfish. They can be found in soft-bottomed areas like coral reefs, sand flats, and seagrass beds. Listen. A hungry parrotfish. And another hungry fish that I had not quite identified. I'll talk about it later. And a blue sea star cameo. Polly just might want a cracker. This is the spectacular Peacock Flounder or Flowery Flounder. Those names come from it being covered in superficially flower-like bluish spots. As a left-eye family flounder, they are accompanied by a miraculous sail-like pectoral fin, which can be seen raised during swimming. They also have eyes that move independent of each other, allowing them to look in two different directions. A nice yellowtail. And in case you didn't notice, Cocos Island has sharks. This is a white-tipped reef shark. Watch its eye. Or gills. There will be more on these later with one of the coolest interactions of the trip. This is the weird Randall's frogfish. This fish is an angler-type fish which adapted its first dorsal spine into a tentacle on the snout and uses it as a lure to attract its prey. Can you see all of their white spots? There are 2 spots on the caudal fin, others to the rear of the eye, near the pectoral fin, and one at the base of the dorsal fin. Look at how they lodge themselves onto a structure, conserving as little energy as possible and wait for their prey. And it's hard to help how camouflaged they are against the corals they associate with. Amazing. Those thermocline waves gives a diver chills just seeing them. Next, at the bizarre Cocos Island Carnival collection, the red-lipped batfish. Believed to lure prey, their spine-like dorsal fin is only observed on mature fish. Another oddly feature is its highly adapted or unadapted fins they use to walk on the ocean floor. Look at it go. Speaking of coming and going, this spotted puffer is off on a cruise. I always imagine it's to a party in the sea. It's party time. This one is all business and no party. Look at those creepy eyes. This sand sifter's name is Sally. Sally sifts sand while Shelley sells shells. But no one sings the song about Sally. Keep sifting, Sally. This is a guineafowl or golden puffer. They have 3 distinctive color variations. This one is yellow background color with black and white spots around its body. School is in session with the Pacific Creole Jack. Everything about them is magical in the water. The way they look, the way they swim, the way they school, they are guaranteed a diver's favorite. That is the dive master playing in the school with the camera operator, a moment shared more than once. The Pacific crevalle jack is important to commercial fisheries, accounting for up to 15% of the entire yearly catch in territories it's found in. Larger individuals will often go solitary, living in deeper environments, including offshore. That mystery fish again. Let's go ahead and call them the googly-eyed fish. I actually think it's a leather bass fish. Googly-eyed fish sounds more appropriate. Back to Jack's, the camera operator, lining up perfectly for the shot. Swish. And the extra point by our dive master. We make a good team. He concurs. And back to school. And then there is this dude, a super curious grouper. I believe these are Sailfin Groupers. It is believed that they are a monandric protogynous hermaphrodite, meaning they are born female and transition into being a male during adulthood. Males and females also appear to be ecologically separated. Males further offshore than their female counterpart. Curious, but cautious. And here is the very common blue striped snapper. You can also see a couple Burrito Grunts hanging out. As for blue striped snapper, they are not hard to identify. Their back and sides are bright yellow, fading to white on their bellies. 4 bright blue stripes run longitudinally on their sides, with several faint greyish stripes on their lowermost parts. It can be also identified that most fins are yellow. I like to play a game where I pick one out and see if I can watch it for the whole clip. During daylight hours, they can be seen schooling in large aggregations around coral and rock formations, caves, or even wrecks. This diver has made a friend. It's a Mexican hogfish, a species of wrasse. And I'm guessing it's not exactly friendly either. It still seems harmless though. This male Mexican hogfish, characterized by its pronounced hump between its eyes and pointed snout. One of its roles is to defend temporary reproductive territories called leks. That's what it's doing here. This is also a fish that starts as a female and later progresses into a functioning male, and possibly back. It's a pretty cool fish to see on the dive. At least, this diver thinks so. Don't mind those blue-striped snapper again. We are here for the Bloch Eye Soldierfish you see behind them. They aggregate in mixed species, which is why you saw them with those yellow-bellied friends. These are believed to be a school of Luchanus, or snapper. Their yellow eyes are kinda creepy. Sea snapper. This is believed to be a school of Bermuda Chub. They also have many other names, so call them what you want. The species forms schools and synchronized spawning aggregations made up of around 30 to 70 fish. It must be that time of the year. Here comes the Tang Gang, an army of fish that graze on filamentous algae growing on coral and rocky substrates. Seen here are the convict tang, recognizable by its 6 bold black stripes on its yellowish background, and also the white-cheeked, gold-rimmed tang or surgeonfish. Surgeonfish are referred to as such due to their scalpel-like barbs, each located on the side of the narrow part of the fish's body towards the dorsal fin. These point forwards and are often used in self-defense. The name tang, common in the aquarium scene, is derived from the German word seetang, which translates to seaweed and is in reference to their diet of oceanic vegetation. Tangfish can live anywhere from 8 to 30 years, with some species being known to live longer, especially in captive kept environments. A black-nosed butterfly fish. It's an algae grazer also, as it has brush-like teeth. And finally, it's tuna time. Check out the lone warrior yellowfin, almost hand-caught by Captain Mauricio. I love when they get so large that you can clearly see their rear finsicles in the water. And here we see an entire school of yellowfin swimming above us in the water column. They are an epelagic fish that inhabit the mixed surface layer of the ocean sitting above the thermocline. Noted for travelling in schools with similarly sized companions and occasionally with other species, including skipjack tuna and dolphins. Simply marvellous creatures. I vote we get out of the water for a bit and take an adventure on the island. First stop, a beautiful waterfall hike on shore. With over 200 on the island, you just kind of pick one and go check it out. Getting the ranger's permission beforehand, of course. This one looks amazing. Let's go check it out. Being 350 miles away from mainland Costa Rica, it's better to take it slow. Sped up, of course. Once you get there, if you are unable to relax from all of your busy days and dives, I just might feel sorry for you. Next stop, the Rangers Camp. With postal code 60110 and averaging under 30 rangers at any given time. Each only allowed to reside for less than a month before having to go back mainland. a requirement done in order to maintain the island's classified uninhabitants. There is also the bridge in the center, made entirely of salvaged illegal fishing equipment. The island never disappoints. Speaking of a non-disappointing moment, a favorite of the trip, what you are observing is the mating ritual of white-tipped reef sharks. Possibly cued by pheromones indicating her readiness, mating is initiated when one or more males start chasing the female shark. The female will often find a structure to be chased around, currently using the diver as a pinnacle. Switching to this rock and beyond. The chasing continues. Eventually, the males will begin to bite, usually seeking areas around the pectoral fin and gill plate. One or more males will attempt to grasp on. Once engaged, the sharks will begin to sink to the bottom. The other males will continue to investigate or latch on. Eventually, the latch males will attempt to turn over the female. This time, looks like it will do it. There it is, tonic, or static immobility. Truly incredible. Look at them, still breathing. Eventually, they let go, and the chase continues, it seems. Later, sharks. What a way to end the trip. With 20 dives completed, there was only one thing left to do, and that is to head for the island and live on it. Just kidding. It's time to pack up and take the 30-plus hour boat ride back to Costa Rica. Not a bad final destination in itself. Until next trip. Bye, Issy.